A family tonight mourning the death of this 6-year-old who drowned in a West Side retention pond 12 days ago. A viewing was held for Jamarion Lee this evening. He was playing with his 8-year-old brother when he slipped into this pond. By the time help arrived, it was too late. And now that family is dealing with more heartache.
We've learned tonight the Department of Children and Families has removed 2 other children from that family's home and placed them in protective services. Channel 4's Francesca Amaker is joining us now with those new details. Fran.
Well, Mary, DCF tells us the children were taken on Friday, and they wouldn't tell us whether their reason involved neglect or abuse here. But DCF spokesperson did say the only reason children would be taken from the home is if there is evidence of neglect or abuse. But tonight at Jamarion Lee's viewing, the family is still telling News4JAX that they're really taking this drowning very hard.
I want to thank community for the prayers, most of all for the prayers. Because we need prayer, we need strength with this situation. That's something that we're going to always need, because it's something that was my first grandson.
Carl Howell is Jamarion Lee's grandfather, and he says right now the family is really hurting inside. It was about 2 weeks ago when the 6-year-old lost his life when he drowned in this pond after his 8-year-old brother called for help. When we asked the victim's grandfather how the other children were doing, he didn't want to comment. But tonight we learned from DCF that 2 children were taken from the home last Friday. Department of Children and Families told News4JAX they take children out of the home less than 10% of the time. In this case, DCF could not elaborate on why the 2 children were taken from the home, but the grandfather tells us the family is just asking for strength.
See, the family is going through a real grief of pain because our grandson was so lovable, and this hear that on Mother's Day after having a great day with my mother, and to get the call that he drowned in a pond, it was just unreal,
And DCF says they cannot release the children's name or ages because of privacy laws. The funeral for Jamarion Lee will be held tomorrow. I'm live in the studio. Mary, back to you.
Thank you, Fran. And following an I-team investigation into why the city did not require a fence around that West Side retention pond, a local lawmaker is vowing to do something about it. The city told News4JAX there are certain design guidelines it must follow for pond fencing, and the pond where Jamarion Lee drowned met those guidelines and did not require a fence. But State Senator Audrey Gibson tells us she will cut through the red tape. She says a fence will be installed around that pond. We will continue to follow this story and let you know what happens next.